Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily English Practice Channel. I am Anna, and I am so incredibly happy to be here with you today. How are you doing, David?
Oh, Anna, I am doing fantastic. I'm feeling energized, I'm feeling positive, and I am ready to help our amazing listeners level up their English today. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you decided to spend some time with us.
We really are. You know, David, I was thinking about our listeners this morning. Many of them are learning English because they want to advance in their careers. They want to feel more confident when they walk into their office or onto their job site.
That is such a huge motivator. Using a second language at work can be a little bit intimidating, can't it? Even if you know the grammar, the professional environment has its own vibe and its own specific vocabulary.
Exactly. It's about more than just words. It's about feeling like you belong in that professional space. So today's topic is all about English conversation at work. We want to help you feel confident, whether you are wearing a suit in a boardroom or a hard hat on a construction site.
I love that. We're going to cover it all. We'll talk about safety gear, which is so important for our friends in trades and engineering, and then we'll move into the office to discuss meetings, deadlines, and how to talk about your progress.
It's going to be a packed episode, so grab a coffee, grab a notebook, and let's dive in. David, let's start with the tough stuff. Let's talk about the construction site or the factory floor.
Great idea. Now, if you work in an environment like that, the most important thing is safety. In English, we often refer to the clothes you wear for protection as safety gear, or PPE, which stands for Personal Protective Equipment.
PPE. That's a very common acronym in the workplace. Let's look at some specific items. The first one is a classic, the hard hat.
A hard hat. It's a helmet, basically, but in a work context, we always call it a hard hat. You wear it to protect your head from falling objects. Anna, have you ever had to wear a hard hat?
Only once when I visited a building site. I felt very official. And along with the hard hat, you usually need a safety vest. Those are those bright neon yellow or orange vests so that everyone can see you.
Yes, high visibility vests, or high vis for short. Make sure you've got your high vis on before you step onto the site.
And we can't forget the feet, safety boots. These aren't just regular boots. They usually have a steel toe to protect your toes if something heavy falls on them.
Steel toe boots. That's a great phrase to remember. Are those steel toe boots? Yes, they are required on this site. Let's practice a little bit of a conversation here, Anna. Imagine you are the site manager and I'm a new worker arriving for my first day.
Hi, David. Thanks. I'm happy to be here. Yes, I think I'm all set. I've got my hard hat right here, and I'm already wearing my high-vis vest.
Great. Safety first. And what about your footwear? Are those safety boots?
Yes, they are. They are brand new steel toe boots. I also brought my safety goggles and some heavy-duty gloves just in case.
Perfect. You're fully equipped. It's important to remember that on this site, PPE is mandatory at all times. If you forget your hard hat, you can't be on the floor.
Understood. I'll make sure to keep my gear on at all times. Safety is my top priority.
Excellent. Let's head over to the main area and I'll show you the blueprints.
See? That wasn't so scary. David used a great word there. Mandatory.
Mandatory. That means you must do it. It is required by the rules. It's not a choice. On a construction site, wearing a hard hat is mandatory.
And I use the phrase fully equipped. That's a nice way to say I have all the tools and clothing I need for the job. I am fully equipped.
I also noticed you mentioned safety goggles and heavy-duty gloves. Heavy duty is a fantastic adjective for work. It means something is very strong and designed for hard work. You don't just have gloves, you have heavy duty gloves.
Exactly. You might have a heavy-duty truck or a heavy-duty drill. It implies strength and durability.
Now, let's shift gears a little bit. Pun intended. Let's move from the construction site into the office environment. Even if you don't work in construction, the language of projects and schedules is universal.
You're right. Whether you're building a bridge or building a software app, you're going to deal with deadlines.
Oh, that famous word, a deadline. This is the date or time by which something must be finished. Anna, are you good with deadlines?
I try to be. I like to finish my work a few days before the deadline, so I don't feel stressed. How about you?
I'm a bit of a procrastinator sometimes, so I often find myself working right up until the deadline. But in a professional setting, meeting your deadlines is the key to success.
It really is. If you miss a deadline, it can cause a bottleneck. That's another great work word. A bottleneck is when one part of a project is delayed and it stops everything else from moving forward.
Like the neck of a bottle, only a little bit of water can come out at a time. If I don't finish my report, you can't start your presentation. My delay is the bottleneck.
That's a perfect explanation. So to avoid bottlenecks, we have to stay on schedule.
On schedule. That means things are happening at the time they were planned to happen. Are we on schedule for the launch next week?
And if we are doing really well, we might even be ahead of schedule. That's the best feeling.
It is, but sometimes, unfortunately, we fall behind schedule. That's when you need to work extra hard to catch up.
Catch up. So reach the point where you should be. Let's use these in a mini conversation about an office project. I'll be the project manager this time, and David, you're a team member.
Ready when you are, boss.
Hi, David. Do you have a minute? I wanted to check in on the progress of the marketing report.
Hi, Anna. Yes, of course. To be honest, we're a little bit behind schedule because of some technical issues yesterday.
Oh, I see. Will that affect our final deadline? The client is expecting the report by Friday at 5 p.m.
I don't think it will be a problem. The team is working hard to catch up today. We should be back on track by tomorrow morning.
That's good to hear. Is there anything I can do to help clear any bottlenecks?
Actually, if you could approve the budget for the images, that would help us move faster.
I'll do that right after this meeting. Let's stay focused. I want to make sure we meet that deadline.
We will. I'll keep you updated on our progress.
There were so many good phrases in there. Check in on the progress, back on track, and keep you updated.
Check in is such a common phrasal verb at work. It means to have a quick conversation to see how things are going. I just wanted to check in. It sounds very friendly and not too bossy.
And back on track. I love that one. It means returning to the original plan or schedule after a problem. We were late, but now we are back on track.
And keep you updated. This means I will continue to give you new information as I get it. It's a very professional way to end a conversation.
It really shows that you're responsible. Now, David, let's talk about the place where many people feel the most nervous using English: meetings.
Ah, the dreaded meeting. But meetings don't have to be scary. They're just a place to share ideas. The first thing you need for a good meeting is an agenda.
An agenda. That is a list of items to be discussed during the meeting. If there's no agenda, the meeting can become very messy.
Exactly. You want to stick to the agenda. This means you only talk about the things on the list. You don't start talking about your weekend plans or the lunch menu.
Right. And if someone starts talking about something that isn't on the list, the chairperson might say, "Let's stay on topic."
Stay on topic. That's a very polite way to keep the meeting focused. Now, what if you want to say something? You don't want to just shout, you need polite phrases for interrupting.
Yes, you could say, "Could I just jump in here for a second?" Or, "Sorry to interrupt, but I have a quick question."
Jump in. I love that. It makes it sound very energetic and collaborative. If I could just jump in, I think we should consider the cost.
Another one is, "I'd like to add something to that point." This is a great way to show you're listening and you want to contribute to the discussion.
And what if you don't understand something? This is very important for English learners. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification.
Absolutely. You can say, "Could you clarify what you mean by that?" Or, "Could you go over that last point again?"
Go over, another phrasal verb. To go over something means to repeat it or explain it again in detail. Could you go over the budget figures one more time?
It's much better to ask for clarification during the meeting than to walk away feeling confused and make a mistake later.
So true. Now let's talk about action items. At the end of a meeting, you usually have a list of tasks that people need to do.
Action items. David, your action item is to call the supplier. Anna, your action item is to write the summary. It makes it very clear who is doing what.
And finally, you wrap up the meeting. To wrap up means to finish or conclude. Let's wrap up this meeting so we can all get back to work.
Wrap up. Just like wrapping a present, you're finishing it and making it neat.
We've covered a lot of ground today, Anna, from hard hats and safety boots to agendas and deadlines. I think it's time for a little review.
I agree. Let's test our listeners and maybe each other. I'll describe a situation and you tell me which word or phrase I'm thinking of.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, situation 1. You were working on a project. It was supposed to be finished on Tuesday, but it is now Wednesday and you are still working. What is the situation?
Oh, that's easy. You have missed the deadline and you're behind schedule.
Perfect. Okay, situation 2. You're in a meeting. Everyone is talking about the new office chairs, but the meeting is supposed to be about the annual budget. What should you say?
I should say, let's stay on topic and stick to the agenda.
Spot on. Situation 3, you're working on a building site. You need to protect your head from any falling bricks. What do you put on?
I put on my hard hat, and I'd better make sure I have my safety boots and high-vis vest on too.
You got it. You are fully equipped for the review.
I try my best. You know, Anna, the key to all of this is just practice. Using these words in your daily life, even if you're just talking to yourself in the mirror, makes a huge difference.
It really does. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone at work makes mistakes, even native speakers. The important thing is to be clear, be polite, and show that you're willing to learn.
That's a great point. Professionalism isn't about being perfect, it's about being reliable and communicative.
Exactly. And speaking of communication, we want to hear from you. Our listeners are the best part of this show.
We really want to know, do you use English at your work? What is your job? Are you a teacher, an engineer, a chef, or a student? Tell us in the comments.
Maybe you have a funny story about a meeting or a time you forgot your safety gear. We love reading your stories. They help us create better episodes for you.
They really do. And if you have any questions about the phrases we used today, like bottleneck or wrap up, just ask. We're here to help.
Well, David, I think it's time to wrap up this episode. We've gone over a lot of great vocabulary.
We certainly have. Remember, everyone, safety first on the site and stick to the agenda in the office.
You're a natural, David. Thank you all so much for listening to the Daily English Practice channel. You are doing an amazing job with your English journey. Keep going.
Keep practicing, stay positive, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.